guys, welcome to your 10 at 10. Today's February 16th, 2023, right? Today I'm going to talk about the importance of the marketing triangle, and I'm going to give you a real world example from yesterday. And I'm going to try and explain why the marketing triangle is so important when we communicate with our prospects, okay? And it's not just a marketing thing, but it's a communication thing, and it's vital to our success. Okay, so those of you that don't know the marketing triangle, we've got the market. That's who we're trying to communicate with. We've got the media. That's how we choose to communicate, right? That could be a telephone call. That could be a text message, a private direct message. That could be a postcard, a video, a commercial, an email. But the media we choose is really important, and it should match the market we're trying to communicate with. And then the third leg of the triangle is the message that we're trying to communicate, right? All three of those things are important for us to actually hit the mark, okay? So here's what I'm talking about. So yesterday I went on a listing appointment, okay? I walked through the house the day before, came up with a determination of value, which is important, right? But yesterday I had an appointment to meet with my prospect, right? The prospect is one person. However, my market is different than just that one person in this instance. So the home was his mom's home, okay? She passed away, excuse me, and now there's 4 decision makers. He has 3 siblings plus him. So even though I have a direct line of communication to him, I need to choose a media and craft a message that's going to be distributed to all 4 people, right? So even though I can have a conversation with him, right, and it can be an in-person conversation, we've all played the phone game, and we know that when we explain something, the person that explains it to other people, maybe 10% of that message, if we're lucky, is going to get through to the other decision makers. So I knew that when I'm choosing a media, I knew that a direct conversation with him is beneficial. It's got to happen. That really isn't my media to communicate with all 4 decision makers. Right? So then I'm choosing the media, and I know that, I had a couple of options, right? I don't have their email address, right? But I know that I could craft an email, and it'd be really easy for him to forward that to them, right? I also knew that I could shoot a video and email that to him, and he could but I don't have a relationship with them. And I don't know that they would watch maybe a 15-minute video of somebody they don't really know, when each of them is in the area, and each of them all have their own realtors that they want to bring to the table. They're not going to watch a video of somebody that they don't know or don't want, right? So I eliminated video from the media as well. And I did choose an email, right? Because I knew that I could do my presentation, right? I could create a presentation in KV Core for the determination of value and how I came to that conclusion, right? And I knew that I could print that off, bind it like I did, and I could take that over to my friend and put that in front of him. But it's very difficult for him to get that to the other 3 people. But a KV Core, right? PDF, email, include the link to that in the email. That's really easy to do. And KV Core builds a really good presentation. There's lots of value in that. It leaves a great perception with people about the job that I do, right? So then we have the market, we have the media, and now it's the message, right? And what message what message do I want to communicate? I definitely want to communicate what we've been talking about for the last 3 weeks. My unique value proposition, right? What's going to separate me from those other 3 realtors that I'm competing with, right? Statement of value, it is what it is. Like I can't make the value higher, although I can roll out a marketing plan that could get the very top dollar in today's market, right? And I didn't come up with a value of a price. I came up with a value of a price range, right? And so out of that price range, right, I tried to come up with a marketing plan that might get them a little bit more than that. And I think I did. But again, understanding, knowing what your unique value proposition is vital in a situation like this, especially when you're communicating to people you've never met, all who want other people involved in the transaction, right? They each wanted to bring their own realtor to the table. So I don't know how they're going to duke it out. I hope we win. But when we're talking about the unique value proposition, these are the things that I mentioned, right? My experience, I've been doing this a really long time. I mentioned the things that I'm going to do to market the property and the importance of them, right? So we're talking about professional photography. We're talking about video. We're talking about virtual reality. We're talking, now this house, right, is close enough to Lake Mack that Kirk Cousins could probably take a football, throw it, and make a splash in Lake Mack. We definitely want an aerial photography, videography. I think that's going to add value to the home. The other things that I talked about is Next Home's technology platform that will help get all of those videos, virtual reality, photography, get all of that stuff, and definitely target, the people on the other side of the state, the people coming out of Chicago, because Next Home's platform is very unique in the respect that it works with all of these tools, right? And puts them in a platform that is able to function and work around the world 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I definitely wanted to hammer that stuff home. The other thing that I wanted to hammer home was my knowledge of the market, right? By explaining that, there are no other homes for sale in that neighborhood, and we want to act quickly to make sure it hits the market prior to the spring flood of listings, right? Because then all of a sudden buyers they're going to be competing with buyers for other homes, because there will be more homes to choose from. So anyways, that's a real world example of the marketing triangle and how it's important in every single communication with a prospect. You definitely have to understand the market. It's really easy to communicate especially when we're talking to our sphere, right? Our friends, our family. It's really easy to communicate with one person in that situation, but you got to understand, most of the time there's a spouse involved too that's also a decision maker, and they may have a different idea of what needs to happen. So you need to always be aware of the market. You need to use the correct media to communicate with the entire market you're trying to communicate with. And the message you choose is really important. And your unique value proposition is vital, especially when we're talking about prospecting and converting them into clients. So anyways, that's my 10 of 10. I hope you had a great day. Do your best to make today awesome.